السلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. الحمد لله والصلاة والسلام على رسول الله وعلى آله وصحبه ومن والاه. أما بعد. We reflecting on Surah Al-Haqqa, and the theme of the surah is the reality that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala reminds us with of those who came before us as nations and how they were destroyed, and Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala gives us quick information about what kind of a punishment they had. And what they did was disobedience. They disobeyed their messenger. They disobeyed Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And the punishment, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala gives it in a very precise words, very quick. You know, Thamud and Ad and Fir'aun and the destructions when the water flooded the earth. And then Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala takes us from these scenes to the scenes of the Day of Judgment, and how the destructions will be there, the skies will be open, and the angels will be there, and the angels will be carrying the throne of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And then Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala talks to us about our deeds, that not an iota of an action will be hidden. Everything will come up, and you'll be a witness, and everybody's a witness on your deeds. Then Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala talks about a bright and a good glad tidings, a good news in few verses, with the one who receives his book in his right hand, and how he will be delighted, and how the first thing he says that, come on and look at my book. I was certain that I will receive my book. I will meet my judgment. I was certain that I'm going to meet my judgment. That is the quality of life that he had, that brought him to this winning situation at the Day of Judgment, that he was certain that he's going to meet his judgment. So his work was according to that day, the day he will meet Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Then Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala talks about the one who received the book in his left hand, and what he's going to say. Where did we stop, Akhuna Ibrahim?
That's it. We're going to do the left.
We're going to do that now? Okay.
That's what we're going to begin to do.
Okay. تفضل.
يا ليتها كانت القاضية ما أغنى عني مالية هلك عني سلطانية.
جزاك الله خير.
But as for him who will give his record in his left hand, will say, I wish that I had not been given my record, and that I had never known how my account is. Would that it had been my end. My wealth has not availed me. My power have gone from me. Seize him and fetter him.
No, that we did not get there. Yeah. خذوه. Yeah. So what is the impression now? What he's going to say when he received the book in his left hand? يا ليتني لم أوت حسابيا أو يا ليتها كانت القاضية. I wish that I would never met my judgment. I wish I never, I wish this would be the end. Okay? And these are the two issues that he did not think about in this life. He did not think about that he's going to meet Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. This was not occupying him. Okay? And he did not, pay attention to consequences. He did not pay attention to consequences. And for those that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala loves, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will give them some consequences in this life. Okay? And the one that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala loves so much, the consequence will be very quick. Very quick. Right? There are, as you're dealing with your children, when you, or with somebody you are advising, when you give up on them because they are so insistent in their disobedience and so forth, and they're not taking the advice, so what do? You leave them. You leave them alone. They are insistent in this. But the one that's really listening and following and so forth, and you see a lot of potential with them, if you see something little happen that off the path, you quickly try to recover it or rectify it quickly, okay? Because you see the potential of this and so forth. So he was so much away from the path of Allah that he did not think that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala left him alone with the choices that he made. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala even goes to the extreme of, not extreme, to the way of making things easy for them. So when they do some work, trying to achieve something, things works out for them, even in the way of disobedience. And when Allah takes them in a very strong way and a sudden way. Okay? And this is for us to really take advice from or take a comfort in. Okay? We are looking for a comfort. We're looking for justice. We're looking for things, to be right and so forth. And we look at those who are disobeying, leading their life in a way that is has injustice in it and so forth, and it seems to be working out for them. We should not think of this as, where is justice? Right? Okay. If you need, as a believer, look at it a little bit deeper. Okay? Because if we look at it with the measure of the hereafter, you'll be comfortable. Why? Because what kind of a punishment are they in? Those who are comfortable in this life and do not do the work of Allah and against the way of Allah. What kind of a punishment are they in? The punishment they are in is that they do not remember Allah. That is what kind of punishment they are in. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is taking away from them that relationship. That's enough of a punishment. And those who are trying to be on the path of Allah, but they don't seem to have what the others have, but what do they have that's different, that what the others are missing, which is the relationship with Allah. Okay? So, coming here for Fajr prayer, okay? Waking up, making wudu, traveling, and in the cold weather today, and coming here, you know that the angels are with you. The angels making dua for you when you woke up. And you're being protected. Okay? And every wheel turn of your car, in the hadith, every step that you take, right? Every wheel, every turn that the wheel takes, it takes you one level high up and takes you, give you hasana and takes away a sayyi'ah, a bad deed. We need to think of that. Okay, we need to be aware of that, be mindful of that. Okay, that this is something that you are getting as you are doing these activities of obedience to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And you come into the masjid and then you pray in sunnah and you wait in there. And the angels are there making istighfar for you. And then we sit in a halqa and the angels are all around us. And they are up in the skies and they are mentioning us with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. We say this as a yaqeen. We do not say maybe this and maybe that. It is not maybe. It is a yaqeen. It is a reality. It is unseen, okay, but it is real. More real than the life we have here. Why more real? Because what is happening in the unseen is what we just said, it stays. But what we have now, it will go away. Okay, so if we want to talk about reality, then we'll talk about now. Okay, meaning the day of judgment, the book being received, the right hand or the left hand. We'll talk about angels. Meaning, if you want to be serious and talk about the absolute reality, let go with talking about this dunya and talk about that which is absolute, that we're going to meet after this dunya is done. Okay? So when you have that perspective and that, be mindful of that, you will see things clearly. You will see those who are unjust are being deprived. And you'll see those who are being oppressed are given so much from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Because you're talking about now reality, not this dunya. Okay? Whatever it is that they have from this dunya, that is it has an end. But whatever it is that you have from relationship with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, it stays until the day of judgment and the hereafter. So, يا ليتها كانت القاضية. I wish, he says, that would be the one that destroys me, meaning that I would die. At that day, the disbeliever would wish to be like an animal, okay, to wish to be among the animals, because when they all see the animals are being judged first, judged among itself, not judged with Allah, because they do not have a choice, right? Meaning the matter that they had dispute in will be solved, and then all will become dust. Then the disbelievers will say, we wish we were dust. So now can you imagine, you want to be the lowest of creation here, okay, and disappear, completely disappear. What did Umar radiallahu anhu say before he died? Okay, as he was dying, I wish to be like, be nothing to be mentioned. Okay, I wish, meaning that he thinks of that day so much, that feeling of being accountable, it is so much on him. Okay, that is before he died. Now we're talking about the one who feels that way after they died. Okay, so we're talking about someone who realized al-ghaib as if it is reality with him, and someone who is completely forgetful about al-ghaib, but then when it became reality with him, now he's concerned. The concern at the time after death, it does not hold water, if you will, as they say. It does not have much weight in it. Okay. So two things that he depended on in this life, right? Not Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, but he depended on his wealth and his sultan, meaning his authority. Okay, so Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala gave him wealth and gave him authority. And he abused them. Okay? He did not use them in the way of Allah. Okay? He, forgot about the day that he'll be accountable. So once he is in trouble now, he thinks about the two things that were helping him, okay? And then he says, they are not helping me any right now, right? Versus someone who has in this life, but he's connecting everything that he has with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So he needs help from who? From Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, not from what Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala gives him. Okay? That's a huge difference. Okay? So he's seeking help from that which thought that was giving him some kind of a status in this life, and it will not avail him. Yesterday we were talking about injustice, okay, and how injustice is in many levels, right? You can commit injustice to yourself. Adam alayhi salam and his wife were unjust. Allah told them, if you get near the tree, you فَتَكُونَ مِنَ الظَّالِمِينَ. You will be from among those who are unjust. Okay? And what did they commit injustice to? To themselves. And they admitted, they said, يعني ربنا لم تغفر لنا وترحمنا لنكونن من الخاسرين. That if you do not, Ya Allah, إِنَّا ظَلَمْنَا أَنفُسَنَا. We created injustice to ourselves. We realize this. Okay, that is a kind of injustice that one will do. Okay, and the door is open for repentance, like it was open for Adam alayhi salam. Okay, and there is some injustice that you do that is with each other, right? And what is the injustice is that you do not carry the amana with the others, the trust. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is giving us a trust, giving mankind a trust. And once Allah gives us a trust, meaning that the choices that you make, okay, it should be in a level of holding this trust and dear to you and being up to the level of carrying it. And once you don't do that, then you're being unjust. Because the amana that is given is making you put things where it belongs. Right? You have a wife and you're being a husband to her with the amana that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has given you, and the authority and so forth, and what to do and what not to do and so forth. That is an amana. That is you doing what's supposed to be done. If you don't do that, then you're not putting things where it belongs. Things needs to be happening here, and you're supposed to do it, and you're not doing it. So what happens? You've been unjust, but now you are unjust to someone now. You're unjust to yourself and to someone now, right? But then there is a justice that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala gives us in the whole society. So there is a social justice generally, and an injustice in the society. Okay, so it is all together, justice and injustice tangled together in our lives, with ourselves, with our immediate people that we know. Of course, with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, the biggest amana is La ilaha illallah and so forth. So that day, this person will be, will not will receive justice. Okay? Will receive justice, and that this justice is not pleasing him because he was unjust. Because he did not carry the amana that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala gave him. And nothing will help him then. But again, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala talks about details now. Details of what kind of a punishment that you would have. Just and quick words, one after another. Okay? It just draws a picture and a scene there. Okay, that's scary. From the beginning of the surah, it is like one picture after another, events that's following one another. So what is going to happen to him? Faddal. Jazakallah khair.
Seize him and fetter him, then throw him in a blazing fire. Then fasten him with a chain whereof the length is 70 cubits. Verily, he used not to believe in Allah, the Most Great.
ولا يحض.
And urged not on the feeding of al-miskin, the poor.
No. Okay, here is the scene. خذوه, take him. فغلوه ثم الجحيم فصلوه ثم في سلسلة ذرعها 70 ذراعا فاسلكوه. Even the word, it's so strong and quick, one after another. Okay, that you take him. Okay, who's taken him? The angels. He has no way to go. He has no ability to do whatever it is. His own limbs will not help him. His own feet is not going to take him to the direction that he wants to go. The only thing that he has a choice in now is what he wants. What he wants. What does he want? He wants to be saved from this. He wants this, he wants that. That's all. But nothing responds to him. Okay? And you be chained and thrown in hell. And the chain, 70 ذراعا, that is 70 arms. Okay, the chain that he will be chained in. Okay. Now, what was he not doing, and what was he doing? كان لا يؤمن بالله العظيم. He was not believing in Allah, the Most Great. ولا يحض على طعام المسكين. He was not just not feeding the poor, but not encouraging to feed the poor. Right? Meaning, it is one thing that you don't take care of the needy, and another thing that you hamper the way that others try to help the needy. You understand? Like you don't want to use rahmah from you, nor you want the rahmah of Allah to reach them. Right? What is that? Okay? What is that it gets to the point that you don't think of helping those who are really in need, and you have the ability to help them, but for those who are trying to help them, you are trying to stop that as well. How evil that is, and how dead a person could be, right? When there is some calamity that's happening and you don't find it within your heart to do something about it, especially if it is in front of you. What kind of a person are you? How did you become this way? It must have been a journey of disobedience that hardened you and hardened your heart this way, right? You know, there is a relationship between us and but between each other, okay? That when you see something, you react to it, okay? But how are you reacting to it? Are you reacting to it with the mindset of what I can do about it? What can I give? Or you're reacting to it, what is in it for me and how can I take? Right? Okay, the misery is of when a person, you know, stands and talk about themselves and think about themselves. And you know, I mean, we had you know, a president who was standing, okay, for 4 years, talk about how good he is, how great he is, how perfect, you know, what he does, and how miserable everybody around him is, and how, you know, everyone else is somehow inferior, and so forth. You know, how could a person reach that level? And the sadness is not just there. Well, the sad thing is those who are supporting such a way or such a personality, those who cannot see this clearly as it is, okay, and you look at it as it is. If it brings something that they want, then they will join it, okay. Everything is for sale. Everything is for sale. The values are for sale, okay. You know, so where it is, where the benefit is, not where the haqq is, right? Is not where the truth is, where the kindness is, and so forth. You know, when we talk about, you know, Ali radiallahu anhu he said, we are people who know men through the truth, not the truth through men. Right? Meaning, we know what the truth is. Show me what kind of a man are you now? If you are truly, you know, upright man, we'll know the real men through following the truth. You'll find them holding into it. But we're not the one who look at people and then, according to what you know, if they are good standing in the society, if they are rich, if this, if whatever it is, then we go to them and tell them, okay, well, tell us now what the truth is. No, we do not take the truth from men. Okay, we do not realize or find the truth through men, but we find men through the truth. Okay. So the tests of this life, okay, for all of us, that each one of us will be tested over and over again with things that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala give them the ability to change and the opportunity to change it, and gifts that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has given. Each one of us have a special gifts, okay? And you'll find coming on our way those who needs help in these gifts. Okay, there are some who have wealth, and there are some who will come who need money. Some who have knowledge, and some who will come on their way that looking for knowledge. Some will have some strength, physical strength, and some will come on their way that needs some physical help. Okay, you know, and on and on and on. Okay, and you know, we do what we can, and you know, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will not ask us to do more than what we can, what we have, you know, ability to do. Okay, whatever it is, the results is with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So He did not look in the society for those who are in need. Again, it has to do with justice and injustice, right? So when somebody in the society has a need, that means there is something that is missing, has to be completed. has to be given. Okay? There is a gap there, it has to be filled. Okay? If you have the ability to fill it and you're not filling this gap, then you're being unjust. Okay? Just being on the sideline and saying, I'm safe and I don't want to bother, that is injustice. That's injustice. Or seeing what's happening, things that are happening that you can make a difference by relieving, by taking things away from where it doesn't belong, okay? And you don't do that, okay? What is one of those who will be shaded by the shade of Allah in the Day of Judgment are the one, the Hakim, the one who makes judgment, who is a ruler, who is making judgment, according to the al-haq, okay? Meaning he's constantly finding what is needed to complete it and what is the harm to take the harm away, okay? When Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala tells us that every one of us has an amana, إِنَّ اللَّهَ يَأْمُرُكُمْ أَن تُؤَدُّوا الْأَمَانَاتِ إِلَىٰ أَهْلِهَا. Allah is commanding you that the amana that you have, the trust that you have, okay, give it to those that you are responsible for. And each one has a trust, okay? And then if that doesn't happen, what happened? If you judge between people, then judge with justice. That means when that doesn't happen, when you do not live up to responsibility, then conflicts happen. When you get any conflict, you have somebody come in with a problem, you know that some injustice happened. You know that there is something that needed to be done was not done, or something needed to be removed from where it belonged and it doesn't belong and it was not removed. And that is the investigation. Okay? And when you look at family issues, or whatever problems are, okay, you find this balance is missing. Okay? Somebody did not fulfill his amana. Somebody was short in working up to the amana that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has given them. So this person completely, away from helping others, not only that, but he's not encouraging to help others either, right? Brother Ibrahim was sent me some video the other day, a beautiful small video about, someone who was saying that, started by saying something that was very profound, right immediately. It said that, about United Nations and the injustices that they do. Oh, wait a minute, okay. But it's so clear like that, we know it, but it's so clear how. So she talks about the organizations that belong to United Nations. And she mentioned names of organizations. And once she mentions the names, I realized these are organizations that's helping the poor. Okay, so why would she say something negative about it? Okay, and then she goes, because they are going and giving impression that those people are poor, but they are not. Talking about Africa, right? So she's saying, all these organizations give you pictures and talk about Africa and the poor nations, Africa, poor Africa, and African poor this, Africa poor that, right? And then she goes, we're not poor, we are rich. Okay? But those who are coming to take what we have, they are the ones who are poor, but suffocating us and taking our resources. Okay? And true, that is true. What is France and England, without Africa, especially France. Okay? Okay, but do you see now? It is the perception of you're helping the poor, but actually you are encouraging that picture, that this poverty and so forth. So therefore, anybody who is there, it is to help. But that's not true. Everybody is there is actually to take, not is taken, not given. Okay. So it's a matter of an individual, the matter of communities, the matter of nations, the matter of the whole world. Okay, there is always we have a role to play, always a role to play, meaning an amana that we are holding. So he did not live up to this amana. Okay. So go ahead, couple more ayat, inshallah. فليس له اليوم
فليس له اليوم هاهنا حميم ولا طعام إلا من غسلين لا يأكله إلا الخاطئون.
جزاك الله خير.
And urged not on the feeding of the miskin. So no friend has he here to this day, nor any food except filth from the washing of wounds. None will eat it except the sinners, the disbelievers, the believers.
Okay. So he will not have a friend. Okay, there is no helper will be there. Why? Because he was not a friend of anybody, right? He did not befriended anybody. Okay, when you have a friend, are you asking for a friend to help you, or you're looking for some friend so you can help them, right? So he did not have a friend, meaning Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala gave him so much and he misused it, and he did not have any relationship with others with this, so nobody is really thinking of him, and that day he has no helper whatsoever. And the food that he'll eat, remember, he did not give the food for the needy. He did not do what he should do with the wealth and the ability that he had. Remember, he had sultan and he had wealth. Okay? halaka anni maliya, sultaniya. That is that my money is gone, and my ability to my strength and my status is gone. Okay, so now here what he's going to eat from, and Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala again very vividly describes that what is there to eat and drink from, it is the pus that comes out of people, of those who are in hellfire. Okay, that which is there, okay, that filth this is the food that you eat or you're drinking. Again, it is a scary, stomach turning, and it makes, give you an impression, okay, to be scared. And to be scared is good, okay? To be scared is good. After that, when Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala swears, say, I swear by what we see, what you see and what you do not see. And one sister made a comment in this, as we were discussing. She said, as if Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is shaking you. Okay? Shaking you and telling you, I swear by that which you see, what you do not see. In other words, what is all mentioned here is things that you do not see right now. But wake up, I'm swearing by that which you do not see. Okay? So, yes, we can talk about Jannah. Yes, we can talk about the rewards and so forth. But also, talking about the punishment and hellfire is the word of Allah. It is the way Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala bring us close to Him, subhanahu wa ta'ala. So when there is an incentive and there is also fear. There is hope and fear. we cannot fly without those two wings, if you will. Okay? If you have one wing or not the others, you will not fly. You will not function. You will not be able to do what is right. Right? So it will be easy for one to what? To commit injustice. When all this, what Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala becomes very clear, said here in this ayat, clear to us and as if it is real, it is difficult to see something wrong and do not fix it. Or to see, some help and do not give. Or to see the amana of people who, you are responsible for and do not take care of the responsibility. It gives that energy, right? That fear gives that energy, right? So it is the reality that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala bringing to the mind and to the heart. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala make us from among those who be affected by this and be able to hold on to our amana and be able to fulfill what Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala puts us in charge of. وصلى الله على سيدنا محمد وعلى آله وصحبه أجمعين والحمد لله رب العالمين. If you would like to make any comments, inshallah. ثم الجحيم.
Is this solo same root word as salah?
No. يصلى نارا حامية. يصلى. Yeah. It is when you're making a barbecue, okay, that action of putting things on barbecue to get very hot, that's what it is. Roast. Yes. Yes.
And about the person who says, I am that good, I am that good, everyone around me are whatever.
Dumb. Yeah.
If we say, well, we are that good, we are good, that will be correct too. They all say we are this and that.
I understand. Yes. Yes. Alaikum salam.
Just referring to what you're talking about, 2 weeks of fear and hope.
Uh-huh.
I have a friend that converted to Christianity. Back in Africa, he was Muslim. Before he came here, he went to Guinea, and before he came to America. I don't know where or what took place, but I believe it's in Guinea. So I was talking to him, and he told me that he missed a while. Because in Islam, every time they tell you about hellfire, too much fear. So Christianity is all about heaven, what you're going to meet in heaven. So he doesn't want to deal with that.
Yeah.
So he converted to Christianity. And every time I talk to him, he keep on saying that he doesn't want, think about that fear. I mean, he just want to, he believe that God is good. I mean, go to heaven.
Yeah.
And I was trying to explain to him, but he doesn't want to listen.
Yeah.
It's all about a lot of people are not comfortable of being different because, like here, most of the time when you go out to be Muslim, you kind of in a minority, and you have to be in a position to explain your faith. So that's how I look at it because I talked to his brother because both of them converted to Christianity, but his brother is kind of reasonable because their mom, she passed away, but she was Muslim, and she was always talking to me about. She was concerned about that, you know. But the other brother, I mean, you can see that even though he's a Christian, but he can understand what Islam is about. But him, he doesn't want to, you know.
Yeah, yeah. Well, you remind me was a woman, a sister in Islam, who she became a Muslim. She looked at the Quran and she read the Quran and wanted her husband to become a Muslim. And she was saying, every time I read the Quran, I see the mercy of Allah and the love that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has given us. And when every time her husband reads the Quran, he reads about, you know, he remembers hellfire and the punishment and so forth. So it's reading the same thing and each one gets, you know, so the Quran misguides people as well as guide people. Okay, those who are disbelievers, okay, the Quran will take them more into disbelief. That's what Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is telling us. Okay, so meaning that if whatever it is that you are doing and who you really are, okay, you will look at this in a different angle that makes you, you know. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala tells us that when Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is mentioned alone, okay, then they are disgusted as they are listening. And then when the partners are mentioned, they are cheerful. Okay? So what is that? You know, it is because of the sickness that their deed left in them, the bad deeds. So you know, it is the person inside, if he does not, you know, if he's not a good person from the inside and trying to do what is good, then it's difficult to put it through their mind.
Scary things in the Quran that was mentioned. It is not up to us then.
Well, maybe you, yeah, you do what Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala allows you and you know.
Yeah, I'm just thinking about only talking about the rahmah all the time.
Yeah.
May not be, maybe a disservice for that person. May not be, you know, honest on our part to carry out or maybe relay the messages of Islam, because that is not the only one, you know.
Yeah.
Maybe temporarily, but at the end, you know, like maybe you were saying, it is how a person thinks inside, the intention. Like if he is really truly looking for the truth, then Allah, you know, will
Yes,
make him accept.
yes. We're talking about you know, us talking to each other. What about a prophet of Allah who's standing there with miracles?
Yes.
Okay, and they still not believing.
They never accept, yes.
Yeah. Nuh alayhi salam with the ship and took the people in it, his people, and the water is coming down and the ship is start to flow, and his son still, no, I'm not believing in you. How are you going to convince that now? Yeah. Okay.
Then also mentioned about the leader, you know, and his supporters, friends, and everything. I think that the friend of the former president, maybe his partner, his cliques, you know, they know what the reality is.
Yes.
I think, but simply because to be a part of the party, to be a clique, you know, they just don't want to drift away from supporting him, although they know the reality.
Yeah.
And they just want to stick with him, you know. Like subhanAllah, you know that some people know the reality that Allah is one, but they just do not want to accept simply because of something else. You know,
Yeah.
they just have some interest
Yeah.
within that if they do take that particular route.
Yeah.
So it's a kind of, you know, in some ways it's an approach of jahiliyyah, you know,
Yeah.
like a party. Some of his tribes did. Someone did something from his tribe because he did something wrong on another person,
Mhm.
but you know, simply because I belong to that particular tribe, I totally go ahead and support that person
Yeah.
who did wrong,
Yeah.
as opposed to looking at the truth and then, you know, taking a stand.
Right.
You know.
انصر أخاك ظالما أو مظلوما.
Woman, that's
Yeah.
also another thing.
Yeah. Well, yeah. So yeah.
Yeah.
Rasulullah sallallahu
Yeah.
said, give, help your brother if he is oppressed, if he is oppressed or oppressing. They said, Ya Rasulullah, if he is oppressed, we know how to help him. But if he is the oppressor, how can we help him? Rasulullah sallallahu said, by stopping him from being an oppressor. Yeah. So your point is, no, whatever the benefit is, we'll oppress with him, or yeah. It's amazing, one of them stands up and say, when they wanted to go for, take him out of the office permanently and all of that, he said, it's not the time to do this now, wait until the election is done, it's this and that, right? And Encourage says, okay, we'll wait. And then after the election, he stands and says, yes, he is this and that, you're right. But he's no longer in the office, so you cannot do anything about it right now. So
Isn't that something? Isn't that something?
I think it's a punishment too, because I think they're spiritual blind about the truth. Because
yes.
I mean, for us it's clear,
Mm-hmm.
for them it's not.
Mm-hmm.
Because I think it's a punishment.
I can do that.
Alhamdulillah.
And, I think it is time now. It's been time. سبحانك اللهم وبحمدك أشهد أن لا إله إلا أنت أستغفرك